Hi guys, my name is Ian Kuria from Jeddah Agency and you're watching Whiteboard Monday, a video series published every single Monday dissecting the topic digital marketing. And on this episode, we're going to be looking at why digital marketing seems hard. So let's begin. Is digital marketing hard? There's no simple answer to this, but yes, it might seem hard. So in this episode, I'm going to share 3 reasons why I think digital marketing seems hard and 3 things that you can do to overcome this. So reason number one is digital marketing is not taken that seriously. Like any other industry, you need to understand the basic principles and techniques. But for digital marketing, what we see nowadays is as long as you have a phone and an internet connection and change your Instagram profile to a personal blog or entrepreneur, then you can call yourself a digital marketer. But if we wanted to become an engineer, I don't think we would do the same thing. So we need to take digital marketing a bit seriously, and we need to understand the basic principles and techniques for us to use digital marketing for the good. The second reason why I think digital marketing might seem hard is because we want to understand everything at once and not focus on specific aspects of digital marketing. In the previous episode, I talked about 8 different types of digital marketing. So digital marketing is an umbrella and it has very many aspects and types under it. So it's I don't want to say impossible, but it's quite difficult to understand all these types. So we need to focus on specific types that we think we can be able to. Because if we try and focus on all the different types of digital marketing, we're spreading ourselves too thin. And that's why agencies do exist, because they have teams focusing on different aspects of digital marketing. So as an individual, it's quite impossible to focus on all 8 different types of digital marketing and become a guru at all of them. The third reason why I think digital marketing may seem hard is because it's taken as a last resort. So your business isn't doing that well and you think by just starting a YouTube channel or publishing on Facebook or Instagram, then revenues will go up. And you invest, for example, let's say 300 shillings and expect 10,000 shillings in return. Digital marketing doesn't work that way. So it's taken as a last resort, as a quick fix, which isn't the case. Just like any other investment, it does take time. So now we've looked at 3 things that I personally think may make digital marketing seem hard. So now let's look at 3 things that we can do to overcome this notion. And they will seem cliche, but it doesn't take away from the fact that we need to cover these 3 things because they are true. One is knowing your audience. You need to understand your audience. Your customer is the lifeblood of your business. Without a customer or without customers, there's no revenue, and without revenue, there's no business. So we need to understand who our customer is, because when we do so, we know what channels to use, what content formats to use. So what are some of the ways that you can be able to identify your audience or your customer? One is very straightforward. Identify your competitors and more or less mimic their customers. So how do you identify your competitors? You can do a Google search of your specific industry. So for example, I'm in the digital marketing space. So what I'll do, I'll search digital marketing companies in Nairobi or digital marketing companies in Kenya. And then I look at some of the results that pop up. I look at their website, I look at their social profiles, and I try more or less like create a lookalike audience. The second way that you can be able to know your audience is through trial and error. So this one takes more time, more effort, and more money, because what you're doing is you have a brief idea of, or rather a very vague idea of who your audience is, and you're just publishing content and seeing what will stick and seeing who will engage with your content. So this one may take some time, but it's also a good way of identifying who your audience or who your customer is. The third way of identifying who your customer is a bit different. So this only works if you're trying to solve a problem that you yourself went through. So for example, you are finding it you found it very difficult, let's say, to purchase a car, and you decided to come up with a service or a product that helps people find cars easily. So in this instance, then you would look at yourself as the test, the sample customer, and talk to yourself and ask yourself, what platforms do I usually use? So that's another way that you can identify who your customer is, by looking at yourself and now looking at the platforms that you would visit, the places that you would go online, and try find if you can get other people like you. The second point to overcome this notion is by being consistent. And yes, again, it sounds very cliche, but it's true. You need to be consistent in your content publishing. So this helps you become a bit predictable, which is good for the customer and for the platforms on which you're publishing on. So when I know a specific content creator is publishing on Monday, I will be ready every single Monday to consume their content. So it's the same. You need to be a bit predictable, because this benefits their customer and also benefits, or rather gives you more or less points on these platforms that you're publishing on. The third thing is patience. You need to be very, very patient. As I said, this is not it's not a quick fix. So you need to give it time. You need to understand that it's not, you don't build an audience, you don't build a community fast. So just like any other investment, it does take time. And for others, it might take 6 months, others a year, and others even 5 years. So you need to be willing to give it some time and not just rush into it. So yes, we've looked at 3 things that give digital marketing the impression that it's really difficult, and 3 things to make it a bit simple. So the 3 things that make digital marketing seem hard, let's just take a quick recap, is you need to understand the principles, and people do not understand the principles and techniques of digital marketing. 2, the many different types of digital marketing. So you need to identify which types you're comfortable with. And again, you don't have to do these things on your own. You can hire an expert, or you can hire an agency to be able to do these things for you or for your business. And 3, digital marketing is not a quick fix. It takes time. It's an investment. Let's look at the 3 things that we can do to make digital marketing seem easier. 1, we need to identify our audience. Once we identify our audience, we identify what content formats to use, what content channels to use, and this again helps save on your budget, on your resources. 2, we need to be very consistent. We need to pick, or rather, we need to create a timetable. So whether we are publishing once every week, or twice every week, or once every 2 weeks, we need to identify how often we're going to be publishing. And 3, we need to be very, very patient. So once again, this has been Whiteboard Monday. Today it's been a bit different. We are not on the whiteboard, but I hope you've been able to learn something from this. I'd be very interested to see why you think digital marketing seems hard, if you do so, and whether these 3 things relate to you. So I've been Ian Kuria from Jeddah Agency, and thank you for watching Whiteboard Monday.